Come out of the box.
Hello YouTube, cheers, and welcome to The Basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
And I'm D-Boy Slim.
And The Basement, as you know, is the first daily hip-hop debate show. From Tuesday through Friday, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. So welcome back, Basement family. Today, we revisit last Wednesday's debate about Funk Flex's rant on Tupac. It blew up the internet. It blew up our comment section. We're gonna mention you guys. But he came back, I believe it was Friday, came back and cried on IG for like 45 minutes about why he thought his first video was calling Tupac Cheddar Bob was necessary. And this is after T.I. went in on him. And Tretch from Naughty by Nature basically told him he's no longer welcome in Jersey.
He responded to all of it.
He responded to all of it. Okay? So listen, I believe he responded eloquently, and he got backing from people like Lil C's, Ed Lover, so on and so forth. Please press that subscribe button, people. We need you. We need you. Press that subscribe button. We need more subscribers. Let us know you love real hip-hop debate like we do. And today's question, did Funk Flex definitively prove his point with his last explanation on IG? Period. That's it. With that being said, Lego.
Oh man, I thought we left this alone back in the 90s, man.
That's all I was saying, man. What is going on? 20 years later, and I have a confession. I kept saying 15 years. It's been 21 years. Pac died in 96.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a longer time than I said. And I kind of knew that. I was just making the point that it's been over a decade. But, appreciate the comments that I told y'all I would fix it today. But tell me, D-Boy, what's going on, man?
I want to start by saying this.
Okay.
We kid a lot, and me and Bruce, we have these debates, and they're friendly debates. Sharing each other's different perspectives on hip-hop and so forth, and giving a platform for y'all as the audience and as the fans to give your input and tell us what you think and share your perspective. I want to share my personal perspective for all of this. Is I really, it's touchy grounds when you start to talk about the dead. And long story short, I'm not gonna hold y'all up, but I don't feel comfortable, except for the fact I'm with my partner who's very intellectual and knows, how to articulate himself very well. And as far as being tasteful and how we speak of the dead, and not showing any disrespect or being tasteless in our comments or our debate or our perspectives. So, and for the record, I had the utmost respect for Pac. I didn't particularly like all of his music, but I like quite a bit of it. I enjoyed it just like everybody else. I hold him in high regard as far as one of the top entertainers and rappers of all time.
We did a top 10 show, just to interject, and literally Slim had Tupac higher than I did on his top 10. So y'all remember that while we're having this discussion, while we're having this debate.
Now, with all that being said,
go ahead.
He lied. I've been seeing a lot of jokes too on Flex on the internet, the Funk Flex challenge, and everybody's taking the Funk Flex challenge. He cried, his beard, this, that, and the third. Well, the main part I think he was trying to get across was he lied. He lied. He lied. Now, the question of the day is, did Funk Flex definitively prove his point with his last explanation on IG? Well, if his point was to prove that Tupac lied, well, then I think, yes, he did prove his point. You could say, why is he coming out 20 years later talking about this? What's his angle? What's his motive for speaking about this? Flex's explanation for all of it is just simply saying, I wanted the truth to come out. I wanted the truth to be told. Those of you who know it, fine. If you don't, which he seems to think there's a large demographic that doesn't still know what the truth is or what the truth was as far as what happened that night in the studio. And he's trying to, be as transparent as possible. He's bringing people that were there to help make his point. We could get into the debate of why he did this. Did he have a problem with Pac? As Bruce said when we went into this before, he may have had a problem with Pac prior to this. Which he explained, he didn't. His only problem with Pac, and which with the whole crying thing was about, was the fact that as a result of Pac's, what he says and the beef that transpired and unfolded as far as him going on wax and him in every interview talking about he's riding West Side and who he don't like from New York and from the East Coast. What transpired after that in the chain of events was Big dying on the West Coast. And so, he wanted to nail that point home. He wanted to say that's what was the whole, his reasoning for, going so hard and bringing this up and this, that, and the third. T.I. jumped in and chimed in and gave his input and said that, it's not good. However, whatever your reason is, and however, validity, however much validity that is in your story, it's not good to speak on the dead in a negative light. And he respected and understood that.
Simply because they cannot defend themselves when you call them a liar. They cannot defend themselves when you call him a liar. When you say he lied, and you say it definitively as if you know, and the person cannot defend themselves, that's the only part that we're talking about. That's the difference.
Well, here's what I know to be factual and what I've learned about listening to the whole situation over the last few days and what I know to be factual. There's a circle of dudes back then that Tupac knew. They were also close people with, if y'all remember, the alliance that when Tupac and Tyson got locked up around the same time. But if you remember, there was an inner circle of Brooklyn dudes that Tyson was close to. And this is where the alliance between, if y'all never knew this, the alliance between Tupac and Mike Tyson. If you remember Mike Tyson coming out to All Eyes on Me, if y'all think back to around that time, there was a close bond between Tupac and Mike Tyson. And here are the ties. These are the ties and some of the inner workings that tied them together. There was a circle of dudes that Pac had already been confiding, and when he comes to New York, these was his dudes. And they were some of the grimiest dudes in the city. Brooklyn, felonies, bust they gun, got bodies. All of them are probably either dead or doing bodies right now. These dudes that I'm talking about. The Homos, the Haitian Jacks. Y'all have heard of these people. Nuts. Jimmy Henchman. They were all in that same circle. Y'all have heard of these names. These are the dudes that were being spoken of. These were the goons. You heard them in Tupac's raps. These were Tupac's people. These were not Biggie's people. And again, for my understanding, Big Tretch, a lot of people tried to warn Tupac about these people. Neither here nor there, these were Tupac's people. Somehow Tupac got into the problem that he knew he had problems with these people. He knew that he had a problem, that when he seen these people, it was gonna be problems, which is why they say Pac at that time in the studio at that particular time was strapped with the heat, just in case. From an understanding, from what Flex had on IG, he pulled Ed Lover, excuse me. He pulled Ed Lover into it. Ed Lover was a friend of Stretch. They said Stretch was there. I think Stretch might have been the other guy there with Pac. They said a dude named Stretch was there. More the gangsters that he knew in New York. Stretch was there. And so this is why he pulled Ed Lover into it. These people attribute and attest to they attest to the same story that Flex is telling. He pulled out the joint, he shot himself, whatever. The other dudes fired. They was just there to take his jewelry, rob him. Since he pulled out the joint and shot off, he ended up getting shot. You know, he shot himself and then they shot him.
One thing is they had guns. So I'm not really sure what we're trying to prove when you say somebody pulled his gun and accidentally shot himself. It wasn't like these people shot right back. They had their guns and they probably had them out. There's no way.
Usually when you rob somebody, you do have your gun.
Right. So you're acting like he shouldn't have pulled his gun? Like he was weak for pulling his gun?
No, we just never heard the story that he shot himself.
That's wrong. And that's where I'm gonna start. First of all, and this is why I love having this show.
We never heard him rap about that.
But what I'm saying is there's two things. In the show, in the comments, a lot of Pac fans literally wrote, "We already knew this. He was shot 5 times. He didn't shoot himself 5 times. He got shot 5 times. People had their guns out. He happened to mistakenly shoot himself in the leg, but he drew out his gun because he was defending himself. That's all there is to it. A lot of people in his status, with his money, walk around with bodyguards. So if you're saying that it's because he's not Thug or it's because he's Cheddar Bob, who do you know with his status, with his money, go to a place where he knows he's not liked, buy his dolo with his gun on his hip, is not thugging it? If that's what you call it, not thugging it, the rules change every day depending on who you like. That's all this is. But stop there. You wanted the truth to come out. That's not the case. Everybody already really knew it. A few people didn't, but the Pac fans who you're mad at, who you're looking at like this on the screen, who you listen, my man Martin Canteo said this dude is gonna get slumped. Okay, that was his response. He left a comment. Thank you, Martin. And it's because it's not just talking about Pac. He almost put out a call to everybody who likes Pac to come and get me. That's what his energy was, and that's why he apologized for that energy in his crying post on IG. And I don't mean to say that disrespectfully. I'm just separating the two posts that he had. The last one where he actually apologized for that energy, because he was coming at everybody who likes Pac as if they're the ones that killed Biggie.
As if they're the ones that killed Biggie.
Number 2, he's dead. He's paid the price for whatever you think he did. He's paid the ultimate price. He's dead. He's dead. Deceased. No longer in existence.
Oh, you did.
So, who are you arguing with? Is all we're saying. This is all I'm saying. And I want to lighten the mood, because we act like it doesn't matter really to us. We talk hip hop, so it matters to the cultures. And, we're about it. It doesn't really matter to me. And like I said before, I'm indifferent to him actually doing it. I know why he's doing it. The Tupac movie's coming out. He's an entertainer, and he's getting some shine off of it. When this came out, we talked about it. Why? So we could get some shine off of it. This is the rules of entertainment. We talk about things that are relevant. That's why it came up. But he's dead, and you were disrespectful, and you did not definitively prove your point, because like I said, before you had that, we got comments, a lot of them, that said they already knew this. This isn't news. The third point is, it's not a lie if you if you believe what you're saying. It's not he lied like D-Boy was trying to tell you. The only liar really was Suge Knight. He put the battery in Pac's back. Pac was easily swayed this way or that way. We see that with his whole life. That's okay. He's that type of guy. He's loyal to the death here, even if he's wrong. And if someone else helps him out over here, he's over there. That's what's up. That's what he is. And it's not a problem, honestly. But Suge used that. He had a mental control on this guy, and he used it to get more money by creating a beef with the biggest name on the East Coast. So he told him, yo, you know Big was there, right? You don't think he knew that those guys was gonna be there? He couldn't tell you about that? Yo, that's why we don't mess with those New York dudes. And Pac said, you know what? That's right. Because he's in a vulnerable state, Suge bailed him out of jail. He saved his life. And so he listens to Suge. Suge used that and manipulated him. But Pac believed everything he was saying. He wasn't lying. He believed it. That's all. That's all. And you can't tell him any different. You know why? Because he's dead. He has paid the ultimate price for whatever misguided thoughts or actions he may have had. That's it. That's it. That's it.
I'ma wrap it up. I'm not all the way on the ship of that's what got Biggie killed, but I think it's because those are the events that spawned the whole East-West Coast beef. Because that was the only basis of Pac saying Big's name in the first place.
Yeah.
Was the fact that Big was there that night when he got shot and robbed or whatever at the studio in New York. I think Flex's point was Pac knew the guys that robbed him that night, and he knew Big had nothing to do with it. Point blank, period. It's laid down flat just like that, people. And for that, like I said, he did definitively prove his point. We know that Pac knew them dudes. Like I just pointed out, them names, those are names you never heard. These dudes didn't rap. These dudes were robbing Jimmy Henchman's locked now. The Hamo ran with the Hamo that shot 50. He ran with that crew. Google it. Look it up. These are those dudes. Haitian Jack that you heard in Pac's rap. Long time robbing. He was sent back to Haiti. He was deported back to Haiti. Like these were bad guys. These were the bad guys in New York at the time. Pac knew these dudes. Pac knew he had problems with these dudes. It's not far-fetched that he might have pulled out the hammer and shot himself. In haste, in the heat of the moment. But dragging Big's name into it, or trying to insinuate that Big had something to do with that.
You think he did that, or you think Suge told him that and he believed it?
Irregardless,
is that a lie then?
Then we still take away from who he was as a character. Then if you say Suge manipulated him that much to say, oh, I hate this man now. He had a relationship with Big prior to that. A lot of people didn't know. So he knew Big. He knew Big. It was wrong, and he lied. He knew the guys that robbed him. So to say, yo, did you these do? No, those were your friends. I think that's all Flex was saying. That's all I'm saying. And I believe that. And I believe that. What do y'all think?
What do you think? What do you think? Who's right here? I think regardless, there's no such word as irregardless. Regardless of what you may think, the truth is 21 years later,
and he's
after
gone.
A man's death,
and I believe
to call him a liar is just petty and unprovable. That's why we can have this conversation. That's why it's gone 20 minutes when it was only supposed to be 15, because you can debate it till the cows come home. But you'll never know because both parties are deceased. That's my point. And the type of extra anger that he had, I'm glad he apologized for the energy. Okay? because he definitely was coming at Pac fans with that, and it was obvious, and he knew he was wrong with that, and his producer knew he was wrong with that. You saw him on the camera say the same thing, I was wrong. But the point is, the man's gone. The man's gone. That's my wrap up. But what do you guys think? You heard both sides. We want to see more of those comments. They were awesome. Martin Cantuai, you said it, man. We don't want this dude to get slumped, man. But he was going on that. I'm glad he apologized. Snefuru Alkebalan, you was funny. You said how many NY rappers have been robbed with the grip on them and didn't even attempt to back pull it out. Hey, we'll talk about that another time, man. I'm not going back into the East versus West again, man. But thank you for the comment.
Dudes get robbed every day, big.
True. Wadi Umi, what's going on TV? Lord Zobe. Yeah, you were the one who told me or who reminded me that Pac passed in 96. I knew that. I was just pulling out numbers saying it was been over a decade. But that's your correction. Appreciate that, Lord Zobe. Crimadella Man. I can't say everything. We're already over time. But Crimadella Man, thank you for your comment on the South versus East Coast.
What was he saying there?
He was saying that 3,000 is just hard to refuse. Too much talent in rapping. Andre Top's Big Boy even. I have heard they may get back together. I haven't looked into it much. The Dirty South tends to dominate in popularity. And Jay-Z does have talent, but I don't think he really compares to 3,000 or even CeeLo Green.
It's another debate for another day, which tomorrow y'all might want to check in.
Yeah.
Want to check in. We got the 5 all-time greatest groups of all time.
Top 5 groups all time. It's going to be going in. Anisi Rilwan, thank you. Custom Kicks, thank you. You said Dave East is damn near 30. Just letting us know that. I think we was calling him a kid. Shan Clyburn, I've seen you here a couple times. Thank you for your comment. Young Cunt, that's what's up. Appreciate you.
Appreciate all the comments.
Appreciate all the comments, man. Thank you. We've been a little bit long, but we think it's deserved, and we hope that you enjoyed it. Listen, buy those beats that you're hearing right down there. Press the subscribe button. We need them subscribers. We need you. We know you like the show. We see the views. Press them subscribe button, because we're always going to come with hot content for you. Like we said, we got another top 5 debate coming tomorrow. Top 5 groups of all time. You're going to want to tune in. We appreciate the love, man.
To the next time. Appreciate all the love out there.
Peace.